Today we are reviewing the Inov8 Roclite G 315 GTX shoes when used for hiking, backpacking, and alpine scrambling. Hello again, I'm Jason. I've been doing a lot of backcountry travel in my Inov8 Roclite G 315 GTX. In fact, I'm well into my second pair. Inov8 is a UK company, and their DNA is in fell running. For those unfamiliar, fell is a word used largely in the Lake District in the UK to talk about the hills and mountains in that area. That matters because the Lake District is used to cooler temperatures and rain on a third to half of the days each month, depending on the time of year. In other words, you need to be able to deal with water in the Lake District, and this pair of Inov8s can deal with water. The most obvious thing about the shoe is that it has Gore-Tex. That's what the GTX stands for. So the shoe is waterproof. That, of course, helps with stream crossings or snowfields or anything else as long as the moisture isn't taller than the low cut of the shoe. But speaking of water, if I were to call out the single most standout benefit of this shoe, it would be that this shoe has the best wet traction on rock of any shoe I have ever put on, including my sticky rubber approach shoes. The sole is a composite that contains graphene. Graphene is derived from graphite. It is about 200 times stronger than steel, but is flexible and can stretch, coupling the advanced material with 6mm lugs, and there are lots of ways for the sole to conform over or into rock and create bite. And it does. That incredible traction makes the shoe a pretty good scrambler. Typically, a stiffer shoe will do better semi-technical rock scrambling where you need to edge on small ledges. That's where the Roclite G 315 GTX can't compare with my approach shoes. But the traction actually does compare favorably with the sticky rubber approach shoes I have, and so I'm very happy to take these shoes out on slabs when I don't need to use pockets or small edges to make my way up the rock. You can add additional moisture protection, or heck, even rock, dust, and debris protection, by adding an ankle gaiter. Inov8 shoes and gaiters are designed to integrate through a front clip on the laces, like most gaiters have, but also by using these clips under the ankle. Moving on to comfort. That first point, that it's Gore-Tex, can be looked at as both an additional benefit and a potential downside. Gore-Tex reduces breathability in order to be waterproof. That makes this shoe warmer than a non-Gore-Tex shoe. So that's a plus if you're doing alpine starts to hike up peaks. It's a plus for spring and fall adventures. It's a plus anytime you might have to cross some cold snow. But it's a downside for summer and warm, dry climates. In fact, I have another Inov8 non-Gore-Tex shoe for those hot and dry conditions. The 315 GTXs have an 8mm heel to toe drop, which is fairly big by today's trend towards zero drop shoes. This encourages heel strike, which would theoretically slow down your cadence if running, but moves the shoe towards the higher cushioning needed for hiking. To that end, the stack is 16mm at the heel and 8mm at the toe, a cushion fine for hiking and even backpacking. I've carried some big loads, complete with all the gear for multiple days of technical climbing, and haven't had foot fatigue. And the lightweight for a Gore-Tex shoe, the 315 stands for its weight in grams, helps cut down the energy loss that would come from swinging a heavier shoe or boot. The sides of the shoe are reinforced, which helps hold your foot in place and stop the lateral shifting that comes with side footing on slopes. And the wider toe box encourages splayed toes, which helps this too. And the toe cap has a reinforcement that fronts the entire breadth of the toes to help protect me from kicks and trips. Although I should say the thickness of the toe cap has been enough to stop injury, but not enough to completely avoid feeling it. They were comfortable right out of the box, and I didn't need to bring them in. And I found them to run true to size. Because the lugs are a significant 6mm, it handles downhill really well, helping provide some braking. But I have gotten mild toe jamming in the front of the shoe when the downhill has gotten steep. Finally, when it comes to durability, the sole of the shoe is eventually what got worn out and caused me to buy a second pair. In my opinion, that's how a high mileage shoe should wear out. It lasted around 500 miles before the lugs just got too small. So my Inov8 Roclite G 315 GTXs handle the colder temperatures of the Alpine and stay secure with their grip despite changing terrain conditions. They are also the only trail shoes I can happily scramble in, and they've handled light trail runs and loaded backpacking trips. All that performance is why I've been a repeat purchaser. Thanks for coming to the end of this review. Please hit that like button to help us get this video out to more people. Please ring that bell and subscribe, and you can check out our website at shortguysbetaworks.com to find gear lists, all of our videos, and additional thoughts and information. Do you have a favorite hiking boot or shoe? Let us know what it is and why it is in the comments. We'll see you next week, and keep on getting more out of that big outside.